Right, hello everyone, welcome back to Nagash, and in this video we are covering news, and it's one of the best types of news because it's all about the Kruleboyz, as they've had yet another big monster mount come out and be released, and they've revealed it today. So we're going to have a look and talk about that, and they put up a Warhammer community article about it. I haven't read this article yet because it's literally just came up, and I've only just seen it. So this will be interesting. Me and you will both be learning stuff when we read through this. Let me know what you think about this new model, which I have already seen. I've seen the video, but I haven't read the article, which I am a massive fan of. Let me know your thoughts of it in the comments of this video as well. It's going to be great to hear that. And if you do enjoy the video, guys, as always, smash that like button and the subscribe button and the bell button. Ring the bell. So, the first thing it has to say about this is meet the powerful Kruleboyz Shaman, who's the best mates with Kragnos, or so he claims. Right, so it says the Kruleboyz earn status and power by ruthlessly murdering whoever above them in the pecking order. The constant threat of assassination means that Killabosses and swamp caller shamans who make it to the top must be exceptional individuals indeed. So, atop all of those rare characters sits the most cunning and devious of them all. Gobsprakk, I think that's how it's pronounced. Let's see. The mouth of Mork, that's definitely how I'll be calling it. I was so tempted to say Gork because, you know, the fist of Gork being Gordrak. Obviously, Kruleboyz are all about Mork, aren't they? It says, so named for his ability to speak any language convincingly, including Kragnos' long dead tongue, so his language. That's quite interesting. That's a very, very smart orc. Well, obviously, the Kruleboyz are smarter, but let's watch. There's like a minute-long video here. Let's watch that. It's quite exciting stuff. Let's see what we're going to get. Hopefully myself being in the corner won't cut too much out, but we'll see.
Umies, eh? You lot all watch out. See, Mork and me, we's got mates, and he lets me...
Just want to quickly say that the accent we've got there of the orc is a little bit different to we're used to, but to be honest, I quite like it. I think it doesn't sound as pure, you know, meathead brutish. It sounds intelligent. It sounds like it's got that sort of like cunning animal like intellect to it. So I think that bit is really, really cool so far.
Understand things. The old words. That's why the war clans will do whatever Kragnos says. Or whatever I tell him he says. Anyway.
So what we can see there is the new vulture type beastie for the Kruleboyz, so their flying unit. And I'll be honest, I'm a big fan of it. I'm slightly disappointed though. That's just my own thoughts, but I'm slightly disappointed as I really wanted the Wyvern model to come back for the orcs and goblins of old, and like a new spin on it. But I suppose they did that with a Maw Crusher, didn't they? So thinking that they were going to bring out another one was maybe quite optimistic, and a vulture type creature was going to be more than likely. But with that aside, I really, really like it. So I think obviously we've got more to read here, but I'm just going to skip down to the pictures. That's the exciting bit, isn't it? So we'll read that in a moment. But so this looks like the named characters. He's the one who was portrayed in the picture, so the mouth Mork. I love it that he's got on this hand there. So when you had like the normal swamp caller shaman, you know, from the Dominion box set, it's just, you know, like I think probably like a brass or steel, you know, hand doing that symbol. But here we have a Lord of Change. That's actually like a Lord of Change's hand by the looks of things, which just looks absolutely awesome. And then the big vulture beastie, I think it looks really cool. I like how they painted it up, actually, to be fair. Those red wings is quite different, but it's very nice as well. And then, you know, it's again like when it comes to the Kruleboyz, I don't think it's just specific to the Kruleboyz. I think for a lot of other things, if you want to theme your guys not really in like a war-torn land or a swamp or something like that, you know, the basing is already done for you. But this is So that might be seen as a bad thing because I'm going for the Swampland anyway. It's not really a problem. And the other thing I'll say is that it's better than a flying stand, because otherwise, if that was on a flying stand as an example, you know those see-through plastic stands you get for the flying vehicles and monsters in general of Age of Sigmar 40k. I tend to just pin them on the scenery anyway, so it's done a much better job than I would be able to do already. So yeah, I like that. And then we've got him here. You know what? We've looked at a bit of a picture. Let's do some reading, shall we? And then earn the second picture in a moment. But it says, we've seen many monstrous things emerge from the swamps of Gur, but they all fall under the shadow of Gobsprakk and his vast Corpse-Rippa vulture. Is that how you spell vulture? I know this sounds very petty and unusual to get up. I just want to see if this has been copyrighted. Is this? Let's get image. I have to see through my face to see what I'm clicking. Yeah, I presume that's not how you spell vulture there. I just wanted to see how they're copyrighting it. So yeah, sounds severely dyslexic, so I don't have a clue. But I like that it's called a Corpse-Rippa. You know, we've got gut rippers, we've got Corpse-Rippers. It's quite straightforward, the Kruleboyz. They even did on Dice Sagas channel for Hobby and Hangout the other day, and I was talking to someone who's quite new to the hobby, and I was doing the Stormcast names and the Kruleboyz names, saying which ones just sound more like self-explanatory of what the unit does. So yeah, that's cool. So a killer beak, the beacon it's called, so that makes sense. He's an important new shaman in the era of the beast, and this prophet is possibly the most powerful Kruleboyz orc in the mortal realm. So that's interesting, because that puts them up against the slothed alligator Florida monster type creature thing that we looked in the last video we saw for the new stuff for the Kruleboyz. And that's interesting. That thing looked a lot bigger. So that's quite interesting. But this thing is big. This thing might be the same sort of size. But this is huge. So it says, before we learn why, let's take a moment to admire this spectacular miniature. Yeah, that is really quite cool. And it's just nice to have like a shaman on, you know, rather than just being like a 5 wound, or probably for him a 6-7 wound. I'm guessing the Swarm Caller Shaman character, you know, at the back of the board, it's like just try not to die. Have him on a big mount. Have him on a big beastie. It's pretty cool. It says the Corpse-Rippa vulture is one of the most terrifying monsters we've seen yet in the new edition of Warhammer Age Sigmar. The creature's grouchy nature means only the most strong-willed of the Kruleboyz could hope to get close enough to capture it, which is reflected in the vulture's deadly combat power. So, on the battlefield, the killer beak tears through enemy ranks with beak and claw, whilst the mouth of Mork wreaks arcane destruction. So great is Gobsprakk's magic might that crotchety shamans has bested many sorcerers in the past, including the great Lord of Change. That's where he got the Lord of Change hand there, which is quite cool. It's a really nice touch. It's really nice. And then we've got going on to it says, look closely. You can see the demon's hand atop Gorbat's staff. It's bound to the material plane by the shaman's iron will desire to show it off. That's really cool, because a lot of the demons, when they die, they evaporate to the realm of chaos, presumably, and basically that's how it works. So that's nice to see, and it's got always. I mean, there's so much detail in this, isn't there? But I suppose like a lot of it you could paint quickly if you wanted to, like the monster dry brush, if you wanted to. And a lot of this, you know, you could paint all the bottles one colour if you want. Like, it looks like a lot, but it really isn't. And like, I don't know, you get a bit of brown on the green bottle, right? It's dirty, you're in a swamp. It just makes sense. I really like the fungus and stuff you have on the trees as well. That's not even fungus, is it? I thought that was fungus, but I think that might actually be a spine. And yeah, I think that's the vulture's dinner. I think that is. But it could work as fungus as well, I suppose. So yeah, that's quite. And I like his little helpers, like popping his little head through the separating cloth, you know, from the back, from the rear of the vulture to the front of the vulture. You know, it's a bit like a taxi. So yeah, I like. Oh, look at those eyeballs. This is really, really quite cool. Obviously, like those eyeballs, as an example, presumably, you know. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a biologist, so I don't know the correct terms. The retina, the stem of the eyeball, probably wrong. That'll obviously be there, but you know, you would have to paint the eyeball itself. But it is cool. And then got some rules here. So it says, thanks to his experience hunting down powerful wizards for his trophy rack, he's certainly given Yggdrasta some competition for the Grisliest collection. So Yggdrasta is obviously the winged angel lady from Dominion for the Stormcast Eternals. It says Gobsprakk has developed a particular knack for countering the enemy's magic. The shaman likes to summon swarms of minuscule tapeworm squigs, so like squig insects presumably, in the guts of his opponents, disrupting their spell casting and sometimes even causing them to explode in an eruption of wire energy. That's really quite cool. Like already, you can just see these between these and the Stormcast. These are the ones. These are the boys to go for. So it says Mork says no. So just the names are great. Each time this unit unbinds a spell, the caster suffers D3 mortal wounds. If the spell was unbound with an unbinding roll of a 10+, the caster suffers D6 mortal wounds. That's cool. Again, if this guy can only unbind one spell, that sucks, but I doubt it. At least 2. I was going to say maybe 3, but maybe not. But he's a named character at the end of the day, so he should do. He's not just a Swamp Caller Shaman, so he's a named character, so maybe he would be able to cast and unbind 3. At a big push. That would be great. And it's not even like the enemy needs to cast it on a 10+, and then he needs to roll a 10+ to beat it, if you see what I mean. Like the enemy rolled, basically the enemy rolled a 10 or an 11 and you unbound them on an 11 or 12 respectively, and then it goes off and it's like it's really minute and it's probably never really going to happen. But no, you just need to roll a 10, which happens a lot. Sometimes your enemy will cast a spell and they get on a 5 and you just roll like a bang, you get an 11 and you go, oh, I wish I saved that unbinding roll for when you rolled high. Yeah, it's got use. So I am a big fan of that. And Mork says no. I can't wait to start shouting these, and I think shouting is the wrong term. I think bellowing is the right term to say how I'm going to describe saying these words and these commands to my opponent. Now I'm just going to get out my, mystic shield off. Mork says no. Very straightforward. So among the just get sort of like out of that orc head. So among the many Mork given powers exhibited by Gobsprakk, one of the strangest is his ability to speak and understand any language. This skill allowed him to parley with Kragnos and use the ancient language of the... What's that? Sorry, I'm just trying to... How do I pronounce that? Dragoonity? That's obviously pronounced wrong. Pronounce however you like. The Drog is how I'm going to pronounce it. Definitely not the other word. So, race to form an allegiance with the god of earthquakes. So, Gobsprakk went on to become Kragnos' faithful companion and translator. However, it's thought that this natural schemer may have applied some creative interpretation to the edicts of his new best mate. Because, of course, why be a servant when you can be the guy on top? So it says, for those whose ears are not open to the whisperings of the mouth of Mork, this incredible new kit also makes a Killaboss on Corpse-Rippa Vulture the perfect combination of strength and cunning to lead your boys into battle. So I do just want to quickly say, bear in mind, the mouth of Mork tells Kragnos to do stuff and Kragnos does it. That's really powerful. In the story and in the lore, that's huge. And the fact that he can speak any language, that's great. As a linguist, that's really good. That's especially for an orc. It's very unusual, but respectable. He's obviously studied very hard. But this, I have to say, so we've got the Killaboss here, right? And then we've got the one we've been talking about for ages, the one they're focusing on, which is the Swamp Crawler one. I prefer the Killaboss. And that's really kind of true, but not true. And that's not because I prefer the Killaboss, although his shield is very cool. I prefer the Vulture. I like the helmet. I often like helmets rather than unhelmeted stuff, and I prefer the Vulture with a helmet. That's just personally for me. I understand without the helmet it looks, more like a Vulture, if you will, but I really like the armoured version, and it just feels again, a lot of this Kruleboyz stuff is reminding me of bad guy monsters and stuff from cartoons you used to watch as a kid and all those sorts of things. And this thing is definitely giving me that sort of thing, or Dark Crystal vibes, as we talked about in the last video for half that video. So yeah, I really, really like this. yeah, like it. So with the Kruleboyz, it's quite hard because unfortunately they have lots of new kits I like coming out, and a lot of them are monsters. Like I really like the Florida swamp sloth creature type thing, like we talked about. But then this looks awesome as well. And which one will you buy first? Because they'll probably be the same sort of price. Yeah, it just shows how many like monsters the Kruleboyz have coming out. The only thing I will say, like I mean, obviously the Oracle War Clans Battle Time could change things, but currently the like sorry, I think it must be the heat. The allegiance abilities for the Soulblight Gravelords. Sorry, I was recording a Soulblight Gravelords video and then it was too hot. I had to have a fan on as I couldn't stop sweating, and then I decided to stop doing that video. And then because it was just too hot without the fan and just sweating to pieces, and then I've decided that this news came out and I had to record it here. So apologies if everything's just sweat. But that's why I've got Soulblight Gravelords in my head. But the Kruleboyz, going on with them, their allegiance abilities is they have like their poison weapons, don't they? Where if they get a 6 to hit, it's an immortal wound or mortal wounds instead of normal damage, basically. But it doesn't affect mounts, so it's like really sad that there's no like big monstrous orc. It's all just, you know, their mounts that are obviously going to be the big damage dealers, and they don't have that ability, which is sad. But maybe it will change with the Oracle War Clans Battle Time coming out. Who knows with that one? So it says, want to find out who the Mouth of Mork will be leading on Kragnos' Warpath, cast your eyes back to the Dominion Celebration preview to look at more of... Bloody heat wave, isn't it? More of the gruesome beasts that are lurching from the swamps. If we were the Stormcast Eternals, we'd be hoping to hear about something strong enough to take down Gobsprakk right about now. Perhaps they'll find just the thing next week. In fact, it's so strong that it can tear apart a fully grown ogre with ease, as seen in the short story cut-in. So there's a short story there, so that's what I say, go check that out. They can tear apart a fully... What's an ogre? 4 wounds? I mean, this thing has the capability of killing 1 ogre a turn, then like... Wow. That's exciting. And I get it, they're, you know, trying to make it... You know... That's not very strong. That's not very powerful. I would be disappointed if this thing couldn't rip apart an ogre. Like, literally, that looks like that's part of an ogre here. So, yes, obviously, well done. But what I will say is, I just let's quickly click on this, because this is probably where the Florida, all this Florida stuff is and stuff. Sorry, this is completely going off topic, but I just really like these models. Stormcast ones are fine. But here we go. This is the Florida swamp sloth creature, crocodile type dark crystal creature here. This looks amazing. So would you rather have this or this? It's a tough question, but the way how I like to answer it is they look so nice and uniquely different, why not have both? And with that, you could also have this one and the named character. Give all your money to the Kruleboyz or they'll take it from you. And with that, guys, I'm going to come and bring this video to an end. Let's pause it on here. And I think this is really cool. I'm happy with the news we got today. Sad it wasn't a wyvern, but, you know, it's very typical trope to fantasy, isn't it? So it was always going to be a bit different, and I think the vulture thing works well. And I think we all had in the back of our heads, we knew it was going to be a vulture potentially, because it kind of aimed towards that and how they were describing it. And it's on the battle tome as well, so I did predict there was going to be a flying creature in the last video. And yeah, we got it, guys, so that's great stuff. And we can expect this to come out in August, presumably, hopefully, when the battle tome comes out, or maybe on the second lot of releases. We'll have to wait and see. But let me know what you think about this. Like I said at the start, as always, I'm always quite interested and very, very keen to hear what you guys think about everything we get shown and given. And when it's new shiny models, I mean, who doesn't like to have an opinion on it? Of course. And what I'd say is, if you did enjoy this video, make sure you smash that like button. As I say, smash the bell button and smash the subscribe button. Why am I telling you to press these 3 buttons? Let's start with the bell button. So that shows to me that you guys are really, really enjoying the content as always, but mainly it shows to YouTube that people are enjoying the channel, helps recommend the channel, and it also makes sure that you never miss a future one of my videos. If you're enjoying any of my series at the moment, or if you're liking all the news that I'm covering, and you don't want to miss anything I have to say about the Kruleboyz, make sure you press that bell button to make sure you won't miss out on it. By subscribing to the channel is how the channel grows. At the end of the day, the more subscribers the channel gets, the better the content I can make. And by liking the video, you know the drill, guys. It shows to me that you enjoy it, which means there's more chance of me making it. It also shows to YouTube that people are enjoying this video, and hopefully it recommends the channel to people who don't know Agent Nagash on YouTube, and helps increase the size of the channel at the end of the day. And what I'd like to say is, well, if you know someone who enjoyed this video, make sure you share it with them. If you would like to join the Discord as well, where we have so much conversation going on about Warhammer Age of Sigmar with every single aspect of it, and I can tell you right now it's buzzing about this new Vulture boy. So if you want to talk about that, go join the Discord. And what I will say as well is, if you'd like to support the channel a step further, I have got a Patreon and an Agent Nagash YouTube membership, which means if you click the join button next to the subscribe button, you'll be able to become a member here in Agent Nagash, where you can just give £1 a month, or if you click the link in the top of the description down below, it'll take you to my Patreon, where you can give anything from just $1 a month. And why am I asking you guys to give money over? Basically, the channel can't survive on its own. The amount of time, effort, resources, and money I put into this channel, you don't get any of that back. It's not like that, but it just helps me be able to justify everything I put into the channel. And the people who have made that amazing decision are going to be these people on this list here who I'll read out. But if you would like to support the channel, even if it's just $1, £1 a month, it honestly goes a huge way. If it wasn't for that, you wouldn't be watching this video here, and I wouldn't be making videos at the end of the day. So if you'd like to do that, click the join button or the link to my Patreon down below, and that would be absolutely fantastic. But the people who made that amazing decision is going to be, firstly, my biggest supporter, who is going to be my Vampire Lord and Zombie Dragon. That's going to be Filq. So Filq, so much for that massive support you came and gave the channel. It massively helps out the channel. Like I always say in each one of my videos, you always deserve a shout out, and thank you so much for that really, really kind, generous support. And please keep it up at the end of the day. And then my Morgasts, who are going to be Bleed Red, Necropolis, and Andrew P. Thank you so much for your continued support as Morgasts. That's a very kind, donation effectively you're giving towards the channel at that amount. So that really, really does help. And thank you so much for that really strong effort. You're going to keep the videos up. So thank you so much for that. And then my vampires, who I always say is the core that keeps Agent Nagash going, is going to be Mia, Ben C, Rouse321, David A, Dragoonity, Ronni H, Darren L, SpareBear, Christopher H, Northdrop, Nathan F, Andrew G, Wiggy Whooty, Anthony R, and Nathan S. Thank you all so much for allowing me to keep this up and really keeping Nagash going. It's great. And then my Necromancers, who are Jacq.l, RadiationRiley, AW77, Sagas, WolfNick, Michal W, Cranky Wombat, Madcap, Christopher C, Krista F, James S, Thomas B, Steve T, R Christopher, and Sception. Thank you all so much for allowing me to keep this channel going and help get people into Age of Sigmar and to continue their Age of Sigmar journey. If anyone would like to become one of these amazing people, like I say, click the join button, click the link to Patreon down below. That would be incredible. But if you can't do that and you do enjoy the video, all I ask is you like, subscribe, and smash the bell notification. If you think you already have done that, just double check, because YouTube likes to unselect people doing it for some reason. But above everything else, guys, as always, I'm just glad that you came and watched this video today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And yeah, remember till next time, guys, to stay safe, stay hygienic, make sure you wear a mask, and for God's sake, wash your hands. So then that means when you're moving this vulture around the table that's eating all your opponents in a very bloody fashion, as long as your hands are clean, you'll roll better dice to make sure it can rip apart that one single ogre. And it would be incredible, wouldn't it? So yeah, with that, guys, as always, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, remember that Nagash is all, and all is one in Nagash.